Hi, everyone. I just want to welcome you. It's so great to have all these wonderful people here. And I love you sideways, Donna. That looks really good. We were discussing perspectives this morning. Someone was sideways. And oh, it's great to see you, Meryl. And I just want to welcome you to this to this book birth. This is such a significant moment for me. We had our morning session book birth, which was absolutely wonderful. And now this is the evening session. So we're going to start off. I know most people are either in their late evening or late afternoon. And I want to say thank you to all of you, for coming. You've all had you've all been part of this journey in some way, and I appreciate you. So we're going to start off with a bit of breathing and just move into an exercise. Does everyone have either a journal, piece of paper, pen, marker, those kinds of things, and maybe a glass of water? Okay, and if you don't have a marker or something and you only have a pen, that's fine. Yeah, it still works. All right. Welcome, Erica. Great to have you with us. So we're just going to take 3 deep breaths in, inhale, and exhale. And just getting into the space of this moment. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. And what we're going to do now is take a piece of paper or your card, whichever, and your marker or your pen, and write a word that makes you feel good in this moment. What word makes you feel good? And for those of you who are not on camera, you don't have to be if you don't feel called to be. If you do, we'd love to have you on. But if you don't want to be, just type into the chat. So whatever word that you'd like to write that makes you feel good in this moment. Any word. Okay. And once you've done that, if you could type it into the chat as well. I know it sounds like double the work, but there's a glare on the screen sometimes. And yet the written word has power. Oh, there are 2 times. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we're going to be reading this. Hold up whichever word you have. I know you can't read it, so I'm going to type in mine, but and just keep it there. And we're just going to read all of them. And if you can't read them, read everyone else's, that's fine. I'm just going to read the chat out in case you can't do that. Let's see. Lisa, held, full, content. Donna, release. Meryl, space. Submit, community. Kamala, play. Me, gratitude. Oh, thank you for your for your words, Erica. I appreciate it. And just going into those words, and we're going to send the words into our energy space right now. So just send out whatever feeling the words create into the energy space. Thank you. And just infusing the sacred collective energy space with the wonderful feelings that are being shared here. So thank you. And now if you have a glass of water, just feel free to infuse your water with whichever word, whatever feeling you created in this moment. And thank you for your contribution to the energy space. And just going into this moment of creating this feeling, and this being a time of using the gratitude building block. So this is the about the Truth Walker's journey. It is about living your deepest truth, and I think most of you, if not all of you, know this here. That we get to align our deepest intention with what comes into the ether, with what we put out into the world. And as we align that, we're not always in alignment. We're not always, we don't always feel great. And whatever moments we've had before this, we can actually come to the point where we have these feelings, we have these words, we have the love and the gratitude and the play and the community, space, release, content, held, all these words being put together, and these beautiful feelings co-creating the space where we don't have to think of the past moments. And that's raising our vibrations. That is the gratitude building block. It's a simple version of it. If we talk about making a list and saying, well, what are we grateful for, and feel that feeling of the gratitude, that would probably be very straightforward. But sometimes we're not in the space to even be in gratitude, or to be in gratitude for those things we would like to be in gratitude for. So going into the what feels good is a really simple way to be in that space. And we've all contributed to that. And then we see how this collective energy raises the vibration, and we get to individually walk into this collective energy of raised vibration and then align ourselves from there. So there's a dual benefit in contributing and then being in the benefit of the contribution. We're going to look at this as a way of raising our vibration to live in our deepest truth. And when we're living in our deepest truth, it's being aligned with who we are, our origin of intention, everything that we came into the world to be and to do that gives us absolute joy. It's all about that. Hi, Renee. Thank you for being here. And when we go into that origin of our deepest intention, it can go back to childhood. It can go back to the moment we came into this world. Some people have that feeling. Or it can be when we realize that we can be free from whatever we were taught by the village that raised us. Because face it, when we came into this world, we knew exactly what we wanted. We didn't have a care in the world. We didn't have a way. We didn't have to think of a way to ask for anything. We didn't have to ask for food, never needed to ask for a hug. We just went and accepted that that was available to us and accessible. Anything we needed, we had that abundance mindset and feeling within us. And as we grew up with a village that raised us, we got taught certain things, mainly to protect us, or because people didn't want us to have a hard time. Our caregivers didn't want that. So they sheltered us, or they decided to give us thick skin for what they thought we needed to face. And by the time we got to adults, a lot of us discovered that we have the same fears and insecurities as the village that raised us. And here we are in this position as adults, unbecoming who we're not, getting back to that point of origin as far back as we can remember, going, what was my deepest intention? What was that origin point when I knew exactly what it was that I wanted to do or be or give? Now, coming back to that, if you have a sense of your origin point, your deepest intention, in other words, what thought shift were you coming in to create in our world? What thought shift did you want to create in yourself? What did you want to be the catalyst for? And if you know that, and we don't always know that, and it changes, we evolve. So if you do know that, then just write that down in your journal. What was that origin point? Anyone know what their origin point was? Anyone feel that connection? If you do, feel free to share. Camilla.
What came through while you were speaking was that everything is okay. It's something that I've been struggling with lately, but it's what I'm here to learn and fully immerse myself in, is the belief that absolutely everything is okay, not just in that general platitude sense, but that a deeper understanding that all of existence is divine. So there is nothing that exists outside of divinity. Therefore, all that exists is okay. There's nothing that I am in any position to deem as less on any basis at all, ever.
That's a great feeling, right? And here, thank you, Kamala. That's such a great contribution, because as we as Kamala shares that feeling, we start questioning, well, what when we're not in the space to be in that feeling, and how wonderful it would be to have that feeling all the time. And yet there are so many times, whether it is in our personal life, in our relationships, in our careers, in our spiritual lives, any aspect of life where we don't feel that everything is okay, where we feel that I want to move into that space. And just having a way to do that in the moment, which is a practicality. It's not a woo-woo thing. It's not a sort of theoretical thing. It's where we can do that in the moment. So we're going to move into, yes, oh.
Oh, I also was going to share
Please
that
do.
ever since I was a little girl, I always felt we don't have to accept things the way they are, and that anything can be changed. And that wasn't always easy for my parents, I think, to accept that, because I would always challenge with questions and, well, why do we have to do that way? Or why can't we solve it this way? And, you know, that's really what I do for a living. And that's my passion, is solving problems in education and being a catalyst for change. But anything can be changed as long as you believe that it can and you're determined.
I love that. And I love that story you once told about how you wanted a library built at school and eventually you got it done. Even when the adults said there were obstacles, at 9 years old, you got it done.
Yeah, very, very true. And it was a very reflective moment for me when I saw on Facebook, because that library ended up being, to start with, in the nurse's office, because that was my solution of, you know, well, do you really need all this room in here, Mrs. Procarum? And she's like, why are you asking me that, Billy? And I said, well, like, we need a library at school. And she gave us the space to do that. And I just found out on Facebook that she recently passed away this past month. And it was just such a heart tug for me, because I had just done a public speaking event sharing that story about her. And then I saw that on Facebook. Yeah. It was very full circle.
Well, she is being remembered right now. So
That's right. That's right. Thank you.
thank you. And yes, we're going to go into those changes as well, because how does one do that when one doesn't, when one is in the space that you're not ready to make a change, or you don't feel good enough to do that? Erica, please, if you'd like to share. You're muted. I don't know if you know that. Okay, let me just ask you to unmute. Okay.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear
I
you.
did. All right.
Hi.
Okay. It's wonderful to be here today. It's an honor to see your vision becoming reality. And I didn't want to miss this for the world. And it's been a crazy day with a schedule that has had me pretty kind of having to struggle for focus. So, but all good things that are coming. I remember as a child having a very difficult time with what I was experiencing and seeing that contradicted what I remembered from the other side, because I actually came into this life with memories of my previous life and being on the other side with the ancestors, the ancient ones, and receiving instructions and choosing to come back because I was in a hurry. And what I understood and what was explained to me, the errors that we've made here is that we're not working in the collective consciousness. We believe that we are individuals separate from each other. And the consciousness we work within, as a rule, is the individual consciousness rather than the collective consciousness. And that is the message I came to bring. There is a way for us to rejoin together as one here. And in the collective consciousness, each person looks at a situation and gives their ideas and suggestions. And therefore, it's then passed to the next. And the same process takes place. And through that, we avoid so many mistakes and so many miscommunications or misunderstandings. to improve the consciousness of the whole. And we have the ability now to correct the errors that have been made. So many decisions were made thinking they were being made for the good of the whole. Being Cherokee myself, and really doing a great deal of research on the Trail of Tears and that whole resettlement, there was a belief that it was for the betterment of us as a whole to relocate us from our lands. But there were people in the background who wanted the existing lands of the Cherokee people for a purpose of greed. And power struggles took place. So as a child, I would lay down on the ground, not realizing that what I was doing was actually grounding with Mother Earth. And I was absorbing all of the grief and all of the sorrow. And I would just cry, feeling so helpless. And at 73 now, I am completing the book, A Most Perfect Love, that brings all of those messages that I received and was gifted with. And then the second set of messages I was gifted when I took my own life at 15, 16 years old and was clinically dead and crossed over. Your book is screaming to me to read it.
Wow.
I know you're carrying a very powerful key in that book that I need to see. And that's why I just couldn't miss this. And we're here at work, foundation work, A Most Perfect Love Foundation, where we work locally to bring about sacred healing. And we work in the collective consciousness as the whole, and that's what we're doing. And so thank you. Thank you for your contribution.
Thank you so much, Erica, for sharing that. That is so deep. And I want to go into that, connecting with Mother Earth. That's a piece we haven't gone into yet. But thank you. Sadmeet, do you like to?
Yeah, thank you, Hasina. Your question made me really think back to my childhood, and the origin point for me, I'm realizing as I'm speaking here, was intense curiosity. That's what drove me. I remember when I was maybe 10 years old, and I had so many questions that I drove my parents crazy. And at some point, they didn't think that they could help me out, and I didn't think that they could help me with their answers. So I had to look elsewhere. And it was that curiosity that led me to want to understand how the universe works. And so I ended up becoming a physicist and a scientist. And, you know, I went the science route all the way to the end, where I felt I knew pretty much everything that science at that point had to tell us. And that wasn't enough for me either, because it wasn't still answering my questions about why we're here and what we're here to do and what is life all about and so on. So I pursued other continuations of that search in looking at spirituality and mysticism and a lot of other kinds of things like that. But what I have realized along the way, and I think your book is a good way to remind me of that there isn't really an end to this journey of curiosity. And you know, you can keep doing it all your life and you still probably will not have all the answers. But when I decided that I wanted to express whatever at that point I felt I knew about the world and who I am in that world, that expression became a much more satisfying route for me than to simply continue asking questions. And in fact, I found that expressing whatever at that point I thought I knew or what I was became an avenue for getting more answers as well. And I continue to see that. I continue to feel that right now, and that is one of the reasons why, I like to speak publicly, and I like to teach and so on, because I feel that expression of what I know right now and who I am becomes a way to answer my own questions.
Wow, I love that. Sadmeet wrote the foreword to my book, which I am most grateful for. And it was just wonderful. Actually, I think I was watching a video of yours, Sadmeet, and you spoke about truth, but in a from a physicist's point of view. And I just thought, oh my word, this is so deeply resonant in such a different way. And yeah, that was really something which drew me to look at truth and in with the different facets of truth. Really wonderful. But I love what you said. Yeah, I love what you said about the the expression and getting answers for your questions. And it's the question, if you take the question as a contrast, then the answer just appears as, the question is the birthplace of the answer, right? And that question is almost more important than the answer, because without the seeking, you wouldn't have anything like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pleasure writing a foreword to that book. It meant so much to me.
Well, thank you so much. Welcome, Marie. It's wonderful to have you with us, to have your energy. And we're going to go into the Truth Walker's Manifesto, because what we've been looking at is that when we're in the space, wherever we are, no matter what realm of our reality we're in and what we're doing, we can raise our vibration. We can use the 5 building blocks. We can use the gratitude, the meditation, education, the connection, the empathy, and use those building blocks in different ways. And the simplest to use is what feels good, which is a version of gratitude. And then we get into the meditation, where a lot of us do meditate, and it's a great way to stop those stray thoughts from taking over our minds and limiting us. Hi, welcome, Marianne. So great to have you. And then the next building block is the education. And that is when we are so in recognition of everything that contributed to our life until this moment, whether we were formally educated into that, or whether we just fulfilled certain roles that taught us such a thing. Perhaps we've had to look after a loved one during a healing journey, or maybe we fulfilled a certain role which we which we weren't qualified for formally, but that's part of our education, and every little stepping stone led to the now, and there could be no wrong step. And that's the education building block. And then we get to the connection. Whether you believe in a higher power or source within, God within, universe, your heart, your center, whatever it is that sort of just connects you and aligns you. And just knowing that you're not alone. And Erica, you mentioned connection with Mother Earth. And I want to go into that in a minute. But the last building block is empathy. I usually focus a little on empathy because a lot of us think that empathy is having compassion when someone has gone through something that we think is unfortunate. And while compassion is such a wonderful thing to have, you know, we can't be in the space of energy-wise being in their position, being in the position of feeling less than we can feel, because it's not going to raise anyone else's vibration. We don't contribute to the collective like that. So if someone is feeling sick, when we feel well, we're able to raise their vibration. We can't be sick enough to make someone else well. And that's the whole principle between the empathy, beneath the empathy building block, is that we get to take that feeling and say, how could I be on that vibration, wherever it is I want to go, that higher vibration? So we've all had a moment in our lives where, several moments, but we'll just take one, where we felt free-spirited, we felt carefree, we felt amazing, accomplished, confident, you know, anything like that. Anyone had one of those moments? Anyone can you think of any of those? Okay, yes. You know, where you just feel like you're in the zone, and you're right on track. And when we get to that place, we can take the feeling from that. The event doesn't matter, but we can take the feeling from that and align ourselves with that feeling, and then get to where we want to be. I find empathy is one of the most useful building blocks in a situation where you want to be, say, when I was writing this book, and as it was finished, and I knew that, I couldn't help wondering, well, what would the outcome be? And then I reminded myself it's all about the journey, and how would I want to feel with the journey? How would that journey feel for me? And I went back to another place where I spoke in a public speaking competition at school, and I won it. And I just remember that feeling of bringing the message. It wasn't about the outcome. The next round of that competition, I didn't win it, and I don't feel people were ready for my message. I was talking about multiracialism in a time when we still had apartheid. So I feel that that journey, just giving that message, was so important to me. And when we all go into our lives, it's that journey that is so important to us. Picking up the feeling from that journey and using that to bring ourselves to where we want to be, where the journey feels like it would feel that last time when we felt so accomplished or confident or carefree, free-spirited, whatever it was. And that's a beautiful feeling. Now, when we feel that, then we can't help but feel like we're capable. We don't resort to things. I was saying at this morning session that when you look at our teenagers, and you look at the high suicide rates, and even adults, but look at the younger people, when they feel either they're connected to something or that they're capable in a way that they didn't know before, it changes things, because they're not going to look to anything to say that there's no hope, there's nothing for me. They're part of something larger. And they have the feeling that I've done it before and I can do it now. And it doesn't matter what it is. And it's not outcome related. It's about the journey. So let's go into that and bring those things back to ourselves. And then when we journey within, we come to a place where we free ourselves from the expectations, from the opinions, from the thoughts, words, and actions of everyone around us where it doesn't resonate. We free ourselves from who others expect us to be and what others are looking for. And we come into alignment and unbecome everything we're not, so that all that is left is the truth of who we are. And that's how we get to that origin point, the deepest intention, the deepest truth, and we start remembering what we knew all those years ago, what felt right for us without people's expectations or the white noise of society or culture or religious organizations in that space. And we get to be aligned with our deepest truth. Some call it source within, some call it universe, whatever works. That's how we get to be. And the idea that I want to bring forth is that when we're in that space of deepest truth, that is our responsibility, our calling, our work. If we want to even think about it like that, that's what it is, because when we're in that space and collectively we get together, we all contribute to the collective table and we all have a place at the table. And all of us as individuals have something unique to offer. And just like we did those words at the beginning of our session here, when we say or think or feel all these words that feel good and we put them together into the collective, then the collective takes care of us, the collective inspires us. So going to that, we become part of a world where collectively we're able to create a tipping point. And at that tipping point, what we thought was a change that we wanted to see, but we couldn't create, we suddenly realized that we have the power to create that change because we're the contributors. And we form the tipping point. We go into that peace and unity that we all seek. All of us here are seekers. I'm just looking at every single one of us, and we all seek that. We want the peace. We want the unity. We want the diversity and the inclusivity. And we can be in that space when we create that inner peace inside us and we co-create and collaborate and bring it to the collective table. Then we don't just become the change, we see ourselves as creators of the change we wish to see in the world. And it's not that trumpets are going to blow and we're suddenly going to have peace and there's an announcement. What's going to happen is that we are going to start seeing things differently because of our change in perspective. And when we do it enough times through raising our vibration with the building blocks, then we get into a space where it becomes a way of life. We're walking as truth walkers. We're living the Truth Walker's manifesto. And we're doing this all the time. And when all of us do this, there's such a shift. The perspective becomes a journey. And in this particular journey, we're able to only see that which we wish to create because we can see the change. We see it differently. When someone cuts us off in traffic, we don't see something being done to us. We see a choice of what the contrast has birthed in us as to how we want to be as opposed to how we don't want to be. And getting to that point, we create the change, we create the world where everyone can free themselves from the expectations around them, from all that white noise, and align. And we create that world for everyone. And as that comes into being, our young people don't need to worry about, we don't need to worry about them feeling that they can't cope and they're excluded and there's nowhere for them to go and nothing for them to hang on to. And we create that for everyone. So that is the whole purpose of the 5 building blocks of unbecoming and the TruthWalker's manifesto. I know there's not too much time left, but I'd like to ask anyone who wants to share, and it will have to be a short share because we've got something very exciting just now, that if you feel some kind of calling that you wish to see in the world, what is it that you wish to see? So 30 seconds, you're welcome to type in the chat. And I'm just looking into the chat. Thank you, Marie. So anyone want to share about the change that they wish to create in the world? Just feel free to raise your hand, electronic or otherwise. Marianne, you're muted. Let me just ask you to unmute. Here we go.
I'm hoping for distributive economics as opposed to extractive economics.
And that term just describes it all, extractive economics, which we have right now. Yeah. Okay, I'm holding that energy space with you. I think a lot of us are. Thank you. Anyone else want to share? We'll give it a few seconds. And if anyone wants to share what the change that they want to create.
Yes, I will. This is my chance. I really like to birth a new narrative for neurodiversity or mental health and mental health.
Yeah. And you're doing such great work there. And Erica, a healed new earth in all love and peace. Thank you. Marie, the reality of equality that supports a neutrality, the reality of an equality that supports a neutrality that embraces the 0 point from which all originates and ushers forth into creation. Wow, that's amazing. That's an awesome way to put it. Thank you. Ravneet.
Yes, what I want to see most in our world is an increasing appreciation of the most amazing, grand, magnificent universe that we live in.
Yes. And thank you so much for your contribution. Yes. Thank you. Anyone else wants to share? Tom.
Am I here?
You're here.
I wanted to echo and applaud Annalise and second that. And each of us, no matter where we are on the planet, even folks who believe they're at the bottom, at the bottom of their bottom, everybody's got a brainstorm. Everybody's got an idea. And my goal on the planet is that everybody, whenever they have an idea or a brainstorm, that they have a compassionate listening around them. They have a creative tribe of people around them, or a place for that idea to land, where they get traction, they get to take ground on that idea.
Thank you. It's beautiful. And Lisa,
Thank you. I just wanted to say, from what Tom said, that the tribe can be non-human,
Mhm.
and that's how I felt this morning.
yes, that's such a beautiful thing, and I think very few, not very few of us, but they're not. There could be a lot more of us that who would realize that, and it's a beautiful idea to presence and to voice, because I was one of those who learned that. You know, I'd forgotten that. So thank you. Erica, what change would you like to create? Let me just ask you to unmute.
I'm watching right now unfold. I'm witnessing the collective consciousness of all that is in action with every idea and every thought that's coming forth.
Wow.
That to
Yes.
me is amazing to live in this time where we can be all over the world and working together for the good of the whole all at once.
Yes. That's beautiful. Thank you so much, Erica. And just to take the thread from what Erica's saying, if everyone could just either type into the chat or just quickly say where you're from, that would be great. Even if it's like a state, country, whatever you feel comfortable sharing. Okay. So whoever wants to start first, just go popcorn style. Okay, everyone's writing in the chat. Okay, that works. And if you want to share it with your voice, that's fine. Thank you. The ocean, I love that, Lisa. Orland Park, Illinois, North America, Georgia, Pennsylvania, USA, Kefalonia, Greece, US and the state of Vermont, Frederick, Maryland, East Coast, USA, Seattle, Washington, Wales, Olympia, Washington, Vryland, the Netherlands, New Jersey, and of course, Newcastle, South Africa, and Shamima as well, Newcastle, South Africa. And here we are as a collective doing this. And we get to do the great work, which is to raise our vibration, to contribute to the collective consciousness, and then create the world we wish to see, which gives back to every individual at the collective table, and we all have a place at the collective table. Wonderful. So what we're going to do now is I have a 4-week adventure actually that I'm offering, and it's connected with the book, and it has 4 different quests, one each week, where we get into the unbecoming building blocks. We get into the TruthWalker's manifesto, and we get into a way of how to be it and live it according to our deepest intentions and truth, which is a personal thing, because each of us has to align with our individual truth. Well, this 4-week journey will start in August, and it's going to be really exciting in a group setting. I am offering it at a much lowered price, because I'm in gratitude for everything that that I have received on this journey. Sorry, I just want to mute quickly. Just give me a second. Okay. Yeah, because I am in gratitude for every single thing on this journey, and it's been an amazing journey. And we are going to have a lucky draw right now. So whoever's on this call, Shamima's got this wonderful thing. Shamima, why don't you share and unmute, and then we're going to spin the wheel, and someone can win one of the 4-week adventures for TruthWalker's journey. And if you win it and you feel that it doesn't resonate with you, you're welcome to gift it to someone, because there's someone with whom it would resonate. So let's go, Shamima. Oh, awesome.
Oh
awesome.
my, I am so grateful for this. This is my dance of joy.
I'm dancing with you.
Here's sign language for applause, right, Donna? I'm so grateful. Thank you. I definitely will use this.
Well, congratulations. Congratulations. And for anyone who would like to take the course, it's going to be $97 for all 4 weeks, and it will be in August. So Shamima will put, oh, she's already put the link. Shamima, just put the link down again. Oh, it is there. Okay. TruthWalkersJourney.com, 4-week adventure. And if you'd like to take it, then I'd love to have you. So thank you so much for just being here and just co-creating in the space. You know, we've waited for the change long enough. We've waited for so many changes long enough. And now we get to be the change. There's a realization that we are the change. You know, there are a lot of powers that be that think that they're in power, but we the people get to change things, and we start off with our own alignment. And thank you for each of you being that change, because I know everybody here. And Marianne, although I met you a few days ago, I do feel that connection. So, yeah. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to open it up. I want to honor everyone's time. I know that we've only got about 5 minutes left, but I'd like to open it up really quickly if anyone wants to ask a question or say something. So just feel free if you do want to. Erica, let me unmute. Right.
We lost your connection there for a few minutes, so I've lost a lot of what you were sharing about the 4-week adventure. Could you either post that in Facebook or direct email or any of that to get that message out? Because I think that's something I very much love to do.
Yes, I will definitely do that. In fact, if you want to stay on straight afterwards, then I can talk to you. It won't take more than 3 or 4 minutes.
Wonderful. And I want to know how to get your books.
Yeah. Well, Shamima, do you want to put either the TruthWalker's Journey link on or Amazon? Shamima has done all the website stuff, and I'm so grateful to her because that got everything where it's supposed to be. Donna?
Well, we're very grateful to Shamina.
Thank you, Erica.
When is your US book tour?
Oh, yes. Believe me, I want a US book tour for a lot of reasons, some of them personal.
I'll be there.
I want a book tour in different countries, but I do feel it's perfect divine timing and it's going to happen. And we all get to co-create together. So the starting point is here. Thank you, Dana. Phil.
Interesting to host.
So how can we best support you in getting the messages out about your book and about your 4-week course? Like, will you have some visuals? Like, for example, this morning I grabbed the visual off Amazon after I got your book and did a Facebook post about it. And, you know, we want to be able to support you because this is important work.
Oh, thank you so much, Phil. Yeah, I thank you for asking. So one of the ways is that I will be posting about the 4-week adventure, you know, from tomorrow on social media, and you're welcome to share it. Feel free to. I would honestly, truly appreciate that. So that would be great. And if anyone wants to put their emails in the chat, if you don't already receive emails from me, please put your email in the chat. I won't spam you. And you can unsubscribe anytime you want to. But I will let you know what's going on and you know, these types of things. Also, if you're purchasing the book, what I'd really appreciate is a book review, because when people see that, it's their decision on whether they want the book or not. And I feel that it just increases the reach. And I want to teach this, you know, like I want this to be a real difference in the world. So if you feel called to write a review or to share, then that would mean a lot. So thank you. Hey, Marie.
Bow Hasina and company. I just wanted to come in and give sound to this manifestation. There are many of us who have deposited similar thoughts into this atmosphere, at least 2 decades I'm aware of. And so to see this coming into form now, Hasina, just gives me great hope and excitement about what we have stepped into now. And so it's, to me, this is the 3rd decade of this unbecoming being made known. And so now it's actually getting hands and feet and presence now. So I just wanted to give sound to that now and just let you know that I am here to support and co-create and be a part of what already is in essence, but us bringing it into form in this expression now. So deep bow to you, Hasina. I appreciate you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marie. And I appreciate your support and your sharing. So thank you. And it's great to hear your voice. I don't get that privilege often. Well, I just want to, okay, thank you for your email, Erica. You can just stay on straight after we say goodbye and we'll be able to talk. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here, for co-creating, and for contributing your thoughts and your words and your energy, and deeply, deeply appreciated. I am in gratitude. And I'm here if I can support any of you, so please feel free to reach out. You know how to find me. Thank you.